Welcome to Something to Talk About from the Bainbridge Island Senior Community Center. Something to Talk About is sponsored by Fieldstone Memory Care, Bainbridge Island. Fieldstone offers innovative and compassionate care and is now accepting residents. Schedule a tour of Fieldstone's lovely units, appointed apartments. They're on Rolling Bay. The phone number is 360-271-2530. 360-271-2530. And today we have with us rburns from Caption Call. We're going to talk about phone options for the deaf and hard of hearing. You may benefit, you or someone you know who has hearing difficulty may benefit from captioned telephone service. And Richard works with this service called Caption Call. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the various types of services that are available to people who have hearing issues, and focus in a little bit on the service that his company provides through a state-funded program. So welcome, Rick.
Thank you very much, Reed, for allowing me to be here. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to talking about Caption Call and helping some folks that have hearing loss communicate better over the phone.
So there are a lot of, when I look at often services, I see sometimes things like relay or TTY as mentioned as ways that I might be able to interact with somebody. I call a special number. Can you tell us anything about what some of those services are?
Yeah, the TTY I know is very old. It's what was out for deaf and hard of hearing people several years ago before Caption Call came out with our program. And what you had to do was dial a different number. They gave you a little box. You put your phone receiver in the box, and then somebody would type what the other person was saying, and you would read it over the screen. And that captioning moved about as fast as dial-up internet, if you remember.
Yeah.
Remember what that was in those days. So it allowed the individual to communicate, but it was obviously very outdated, and as opposed to what we have with Caption Call today.
Okay, and then I know that I also have seen relay mentioned as another phone number that you might call. Are you familiar with what that is?
Yeah, we have video relay. So our sister company is called Sorensen Communications, and they do sign language. They're a sign language company, and so that's video relay, where the individual has a number, say they want to talk to the doctor or a family member or whatever, and they're deaf and they do sign, and they have an interpreter that interprets everything they're saying. Excuse me, the other person is saying, so the deaf person can understand. Very similar to what you see when our governor or president's doing a conference, they've got an interpreter there signing. So it's that type of thing that folks can see right in their home or on their computer or whatever.
Great. And then there are these closed caption services, which are not unlike what we see when we allow closed captioning, say in a Zoom call.
Right.
But tell us a little bit about that.
Well, there's some other ones, like I have hearing loss, and on my cell phone, I have this program that if I'm sitting with somebody in a meeting and they have a pitch that I don't hear very well, a softer voice, I can just sit it on the table, and it captions back through voice recognition software everything they're saying. The negative side of that is words like Puyallup, Issaquah, stuff like gets messed up, very similar to what Surrey says on our phones or GPS, but at least It allows you to do some kind of communicating. And that's pretty popular with the Hearing Loss Association of America, different presentations I've done with them as well.
Great. So there are increasingly more options, and it does take some difficulty sometimes trying to imagine what Siri or your device might think it's hearing and then translate it, because you can of course use your brain to make the context and know that and know that something about a Pule lip is probably about a town, not not a facial condition.
Right, exactly.
So Rick, tell me, because one of those players obviously is Caption Call, and this is kind of interesting because if I qualify, I could get this service for no charge, right?
Correct. So Caption Call, once again, is a captioning telephone for individuals like us that have hearing loss, right? It's federally funded. So anybody that's ever paid a phone bill, there's some weird taxes, surcharges at the bottom, roughly 8 to 10 cents a month goes into this service. Hearing loss has been classified under the American with Disability Act as a disability. So the FCC pays companies like Caption Call, so we may provide the products, the service, installation, training, everything at no cost to the patient.
And I think there are a couple of programs, some I think operate for veterans and some, so they're kind of different funding mechanisms because our country is complicated like that. But in either event, would somebody like Caption Call be able to figure out the right way to fund my program?
It all goes under the same umbrella. So once we get, the patient can now self-certify. We brought that out during COVID because so many people were locked down. So we can sign them up, similar to what I did at your facility not long ago. And then they're asked questions confirming they have hearing loss and that they have trouble on the phone, that they need captioning. Now, the disclaimer with that is some folks say, well, I don't need it for everybody because my hearing aids work great. And I get that because I have the same challenge. It can just be used for those calls, like I mentioned before, strong accent, grandchildren, somebody with a high-pitched voice, it can be used for that. So anybody, either veteran or non-veteran, they qualify. It's all under the same umbrella as far as the FCC goes, as long as they qualify and certify that they have hearing loss and need captioning on the phone. I hope that answered your question.
Yes, it did. So, so the idea would be that I could approach your company, and there are some other companies that offer this too. And if I wanted to compare services, I might be able to do that. But I would go to Caption Call, and you would help me determine whether I would qualify based on my self-certification.
Right.
And then if I do, the service is actually provided to me thanks to the taxes I've already paid in my house, and you would help me set it up and all that. So tell me a little bit about how it works. I know you have a little video you were going to share, or material that you have.
Would you like to see the video now?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Hello. I'd like to tell you about Caption Call and how it helps people with hearing loss experience important phone calls in a more accurate and satisfying way. Caption Call is available to anyone who has hearing loss and who needs captions to use the phone more effectively. It works a lot like caption television to help a user hear and understand phone conversations better. It's Caption Call's goal to help people use the phone with confidence. And that goes hand in hand with the Americans with Disabilities Act to ensure all people have equal opportunity to use our country's phone lines. The government sets aside funds for people with hearing loss. It goes towards the captioning service that makes Caption Call work. If you've ever paid a phone bill, you've already paid to support this important service that helps so many. After all, nearly 17% of US adults have hearing loss. It ranks right after hypertension and arthritis among common health conditions, and it gets more common as people age, especially among men. Even so, people hesitate to talk about hearing loss. Some don't want to admit to it. Others may not recognize how little they hear, and a friend, spouse, or family member has to bring it up. But hearing loss is a serious issue. Studies show that people with hearing loss tend to withdraw. They interact less and stay home more. They are far more prone to depression and even have an increased risk of dementia. And listen to this. People with impaired hearing actually lose a cubic centimeter of brain tissue each year, compared to people who maintain greater brain activity through normal hearing. Neglecting hearing loss can even put safety at risk. Some people might think their hearing loss isn't significant enough to miss an alarm or a siren, but what about the doorbell or a phone call during an emergency? Being able to hear and understand a conversation is critical when talking to a first responder. Clearly, hearing is essential for much of everyday life. Experiencing even some hearing loss can affect your physical, emotional, and social well-being. So what can you do? If you think you might have hearing loss, or if you think someone close to you does, start by talking to a hearing care professional. A hearing test is easy, painless, and the results can be very informative. Often the effects of hearing loss can be addressed with hearing aids, cochlear implants, hearing accessories, and devices like the CaptionCall captioning phone. Thousands of hearing care professionals recommend CaptionCall to help their patients communicate better on the phone. People love CaptionCall because it's so simple and effective. When you make or get a phone call, a large screen on the phone displays captions of what the other person is saying. The words naturally scroll as you talk, so it's easy to follow the conversation. CaptionCall puts you back in charge of your phone calls. You don't have to ask people to repeat themselves, have someone else make calls for you, or worry that you've missed any important details. CaptionCall helps you take control of day-to-day appointments and connect with the people you care about. Here's how it works. The CaptionCall phone adjusts to help you hear conversations better. You can amplify the ringer as well as the caller's voice. CaptionCall is the only captioning telephone with amplification to meet every level of hearing loss. It works for people with mild, moderate, or even severe hearing loss. By combining speech recognition software with the help of a captioning agent, CaptionCall captions are remarkably accurate and close to real time. Your conversations are encrypted, so your calls are safe, secure, and regulated by FCC protections. Operate the CaptionCall phone just like a regular phone. Just pick up the receiver and dial. You don't have to call a service first. The captioning is automatic. Or you can turn off the captions if you don't need them, or when someone else is using the phone. CaptionCall includes many features to make your life easy. It keeps a list of recent calls you've made or received. Just touch a name or number to return a call. You can also create your own personal phone book in CaptionCall. Add friends, family members, neighbors, service providers, anyone you call regularly. Their names and numbers are right at your fingertips in an alphabetized list. You can even make a list of favorites. When you're on the phone, you'll see the name and number of the person you're talking to. If you need to, you can look at your list of contacts. Change your CaptionCall settings. Save your conversation or put your side of the call on mute. If you need to turn up the volume, adjust the dial. It works for both the handset and the speakerphone. The volume meter changes as you increase the sound. Now that's loud. People who need extra amplification can turn on volume boost in the phone settings. For even more customized settings, CaptionCall can amplify different frequencies to meet your personal hearing needs, as shown on your audiogram from a hearing test. As an example, if you have trouble hearing higher voices, CaptionCall can increase sounds in that range. You can also adjust how the captions look on the CaptionCall phone. Choose from 3 settings to change the size of the text or how bright it is on the screen. CaptionCall has you covered if you're not around to take a call too. It will work with the answering machine or service you already have, or you can use its built-in answering machine. Customize your greetings, call pickup, and call screening. And of course, you can see captions for any of your messages. These are just a few of the features on the CaptionCall phone. It really has everything to make talking on the phone easy and conversations more understandable. So how do you get Caption Call? It's available to anyone with hearing loss and who would benefit from having captions during phone calls. For the phone to work, you must have a phone line and high-speed internet connection. If this sounds like you, Caption Call takes care of everything. Our red carpet service includes no-cost personal delivery. A local representative will install the phone, show you how to use it, and stay to answer your questions. Our trainers are Caption Call employees who know what they're talking about, who value your privacy, and who will help you feel comfortable using your phone. If you have questions later, we have dedicated customer support people ready to help whenever you need them. Caption Call can be installed where you use it most, at home, the office, even an assisted living facility. Caption Call won't affect how your other phones work, but it will change the way you communicate for the better. Take the first step to experience phone calls in a whole new way. Life is calling. Answer it better with Caption Call.
Thank you.
You betcha. I'm putting this screen up. Anybody has any additional questions? There's my contact info. If
We're just still seeing the video at this point.
Oh, you're still seeing video. Okay, you don't see this. Hold on.
You'll have, sorry.
Let me get rid of this. Boom. All right, try this. Can you, whoop. There we go. Boy, I need more refresher. Can you see that now?
Yep.
Okay. So there we are. Sorry about the mix up. Maybe it's Monday, not enough coffee for Rick in the morning. I apologize. There's my contact info for anybody who may be interested. Now, a couple things. The gentleman on the video said you got to have landline and internet. That's so the phone functions. However, a lot of people don't have landline anymore. We have a device we provide at no charge that creates a landline connection. One of them is it links to Bluetooth on their cell phone. All right. The other option, some folks don't have internet anymore. We have a device that we provide. Also, it's proprietary for just our phone. It won't work on computers or anything else. Just allows our phone to receive captioning. Once again, that's provided at no cost.
Okay, so I'm just going to repeat that. That was a question I had certainly after watching that video. So
Yeah.
yes, a lot of folks have cut their phone lines, their hardwire lines, and so they only have a cell phone. But you have a device that would connect their cell phone number with a landline or something like that.
Yeah, the device, like for people that have Bluetooth in their cell phone, we can link the Caption Call phone to the Bluetooth in their cell phone, very similar to what it does in our car when we're driving around with Bluetooth in our car. And we have a couple of other things that we do as well, depending on the location of the customer.
Okay, and yes, we know about sort of hotspot internet. So there might be a technology that's proprietary to your phones, but would allow the backup of the internet connection, which sounds like it might be necessary for that combination of both an assist, a human assist, and the software, the voice recognition software that was described in the video.
Yeah, the captioning travels over the internet. That's why that's needed. So
Great.
When we talked about TTY dial up, you know, and that's how it moved. Well, ours is fast. It's about a 2-second delay from whatever anybody is saying before the captioning comes up.
Okay. Yeah, and the only other thing I might think of is that, of course, a lot of people have kept phone lines because of concern about access in 911 in the event of a power outage. This phone probably requires power to operate.
Yes.
So you might want to keep if that's why you're doing it, you might want to keep your old phone to plug in the event of a power outage.
Exactly. And situations, remember to talk mild-mannered or profound loss. So a lot of folks have our phone and then the old cordless boot plugged in. You can do a splitter. One goes to Caption Call, one goes to the other. So when they're sitting watching the Seahawks get beat by Pittsburgh last night,
Oh my gosh.
and they gotta get up, let's say their grandchild calls and they can't understand them, they get up and they can use the captioning phone. So we can, long story short, fix it so they have access to both different phones.
Great. And that would be part of that setup and installation that's included that you talked about.
Correct. Part of what we call our red carpet service, and that also includes the ongoing, if somebody forgets how something works or something, we'll come back out and help them, no charge for that as well.
Well, it sounds like my tax dollars well spent.
One good place that our tax dollars are going. Yes, correct.
Okay, thank you very much, Rick. I appreciate your time walking us through this.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. And once again, if anybody would like additional information or would like a phone, the easiest way is to just reach out to me and I can help you get one.